What's up, Matt from Fab here. In today's video I'm going to be fitting the AiM LCU1S to the Mini. This is a wideband Lambda kit to be able to connect into my AiM PDM so that I'll have live AFR and Lambda readings, so I can basically measure the air-fuel ratio as I'm driving along and log it as well. So this is pretty much a plug and play kit, as with all the AiM stuff. Once you've got one device, you can keep expanding onto it with different stuff. So all this needs is a live and an earth, a bit of additional power, and then it plugs straight into the CAN input plug, and that's it. Another plug goes to the Lambda sensor. So yeah, very simple in terms of how you wire it up. The more complicated bit is probably the computer side of it, of actually configuring it all. But it comes with everything: sensor, bung to weld into your exhaust, and then this is the CAN expansion. So I've got a PDM which has one CAN bus input, and this just allows me to plug 3 additional inputs into it, and you could daisy chain those together and connect as many things as you want to the system. So just measuring up, finding a good spot for it. These sensors need to be mounted at an angle above horizontal, so they need to be pointing down so that moisture doesn't collect in the end of the sensor. That will really shorten the life of the sensor. So as long as there's a slight angle to them, they're all good. So first job is to obviously get the exhaust off, and it's a quick, simple job on this. It's all one piece from the from that collector back, so it comes off nice and easy. Now just got to drill the hole. You want to drill stainless steel, nice and slow. Try not to get it too hot. Plenty of cutting fluid, and it actually drills okay. If you go too quick and overheat the drill bit, it just hardens it even more, and you just end up not being able to get through it. So the little belt file's a great tool for deburring things that you can't really get into. So as you can see, I made a bit of a cock up and drilled the hole too big. I had quite a gap to fill, so just decided to blast it with the MIG welder instead of battling with trying to TIG weld it. Also, once you've used an exhaust and it's sort of all dirty inside, you've got to try and clean all that out to get a decent looking TIG weld on it. So I went for the lazy option and MIG welded it. That's normal mild steel MIG wire as well. I didn't have any stainless wire. I quite often get asked if you can you MIG weld stainless with normal MIG wire if you break your exhaust or break a tab off or something, and the answer is yes. Is it the right thing to do? Not really, but I can guarantee that bung will never fall out of that exhaust, and you're essentially contaminating the stainless and changing the anti-corrosive properties of it, so it will start to rust along with the weld as well, obviously. But yeah, I mean, if you're in a pinch and you just want to get something done, it's not the right way, but sometimes done is better than perfect. So the exhaust can go back on now, and whenever I'm like making stuff on my cars, I always try and make it so that I can work on it by myself without having to ask someone to hold something or put a spanner on the end of a bolt on the inside of the car, or those annoying times when you need someone, and it's usually just a case of like welding a captive nut in somewhere, or just having a bracket made a certain way so that it's just easy to get in place. But yeah, those little things definitely make working on the car a bit more enjoyable. And that's it for the sort of fabrication work. Sensor can go in, the wiring tucks up sort of behind the subframe. Now we're onto the inside, and that's the wiring coming through the little grommet into the bulkhead, and then all this stuff's going to live under the foot stand piece that covers the cylinders. And then I've got an additional little ignition live there, which was just there to power anything that might have needed an ignition live. And I've got a few extra things going in the car. I've got a new camera system going in, which is going to be really cool, and some brake pressure sensor stuff as well. So yeah, this is the CAN expansion. As you can see, we've got two things going into that. This GPS, which was connected directly into the PDM, now goes into that, along with the wideband, and then my camera will go into it, and also the brake pressure sensor switches. But like I said, you can just loop as many of these together as you need. So AiM have sent me a few additions in to add to the car, and this is just the first video on a few of the upgrades that I'm going to be doing. That's why the wiring's a little bit rough, because I've got some other stuff to add into it. So I've got a new camera system going in, so we'll have all the engine information displayed on screen, along with throttle, brake, and everything else, lap times and all that kind of stuff. So should make the videos a bit more interesting. Right, so I'm just going to show you how you configure the wideband controller into the rest of the AiM system. So this is Race Studio 3, where you do all your design work, if you like. And I've got lots of different configurations for different stuff, but I'm just going to click on one that isn't being used, just so I can show you how to add it. So this is the configuration for the PDM-08, and this is all the different stuff that you can adjust and play with and change. So CAN expansions is what we need to go into. Then we can click New Expansion, and this is just anything that runs through the CAN bus system on the PDM. This is where you add it. So there's loads of different things that you can add into this, additional stuff, steering wheels, different dashes, GPS, keypads, anything that works via CAN. So we just need to select this one. It's giving us our different values of unit of what it's actually going to read. Now this is added, when we go into things like the display, we'll have an option in these channel groups here. You can see it's come up LCU1 down here. So if I wanted to make this read Lambda, I can just click on it, click LCU1, and then if I want it to read Lambda or AFR, I can just read that, and then I can change the decimal points and stuff like that. I can change the name of it. Yeah, it's as simple as that really, in terms of just getting a basic display to work. But I can also go on to shift lights and alarms. I could set an alarm so it's automatically come up in the source for the alarm as well. And then I can say when my AFR is greater than whatever would be out of a safe range, or I could have flashing warning lights. And you can set sort of multiple stages for the alarm, so you could have above a certain AFR at a certain RPM, so that it's less likely for the alarm to be triggered for the wrong reason. The other part of it is this system is logging the whole time, and any time I'm in the car, every time I go over 20 miles an hour or whatever it's set to, it will just start recording, and it's recording all the information that is coming back through the PDM. But I can select individual things in here, so I can put AFR in there. So we got a map of Castle Combe here, and then I can look at my AFR and I can see at any point around this lap what my AFR was reading at whatever RPM I want to read it at. I can see the speed I was doing, and you can do this with anything. I could put oil pressure, and then as I move this around I can check that my oil pressure is good, that my AFR is good, and it just means I can check on everything when I get back, even if there was no problems, and probably pick something up before it becomes a real problem. So that's just a little bit of what you can do with all this stuff. So that's how you connect one of these into a PDM. You could also connect it into a Solo 2 lap timer, you could connect it into a dash, you can connect it into a camera, and any of the devices that you can get through AiM are all on here. So you can even download this program and then have a play around with setting up a system of different bits of kit and how you would actually want to link it all together. So yeah, it's all there if you want to have a look. Race Studio 3, and obviously all the information about any of their kit is on their website. So check it out if there's something you're interested in. That's going to be it for this one. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one.